been a cowboy fan for my whole life. My dad was, I am, my son is, and I'm be working on my grandson.
George Strait really loves his kids, Jennifer and George Bubba Strait Jr. They mean everything to him, and he always makes sure they know it. George feels super lucky to have Jennifer and Bubba as his children. George Strait and his wife Norma got married in a quick and quiet way in 1971. Right after that, they started their family. Their daughter Jennifer was born in 1972, and their son Bubba came along in 1981. But there's some sadness too. When Jennifer was just 13, she passed away in a car accident in San Marcos, Texas. After his daughter's death, George Strait felt really sad. He decided not to talk to reporters for a long time. He said he didn't want to talk about it. So he stopped doing interviews for a while. Even though George stopped doing interviews, he kept making lots of music. He even wrote songs with his son, Bubba. Bubba is like his dad. He loves rodeo. After finishing college at Texas A&M University, he became a professional roper. When he stopped roping, he joined another family job, making music. Bubba teamed up with his dad to write some famous songs like Here for a Good Time, Living for the Night, and Let It Go. These hits came from their collaboration, showing their talent together. In 2015, George shared with USA Today how proud he was of his son's musical passion. He said, "I'm so proud he took an interest in the music business." Bubba had been focused on rodeo for a long time, but then he shifted to music. This made George really happy. He added, "Once he decided to move on, he decided to get into music. He took it pretty seriously and pushed me back into writing songs as well." George was impressed by Bubba's dedication and felt inspired to write songs again. Bubba and his whole family have always been big supporters of his dad, the king of country. In 2014, during the last show of George's farewell tour, the Cowboy Rides Away tour, Bubba had a special moment. He joined his dad on stage, and they sang their duet, Arkansas Dave, together. Bubba wrote this song with his dad, making it even more special. Jennifer and George Bubba Strait Jr. George and Norma became parents for the first time on October 6, 1972, when they welcomed their daughter, Jennifer Lynn Strait, into the world. Passed away at the age of 13 on June 25, 1986. Reports from United Press International stated that she was in a speeding car that flipped while trying to make a turn. Sadly, she wasn't wearing a seatbelt. After Jennifer passed away, George kept working on music, but he didn't talk to reporters much. Then in 2012, he said something really meaningful. He shared, "We were blessed to have been able to spend 13 years with our beautiful daughter, Jennifer." Jennifer's memory stays alive through George's music. Although he hasn't directly said that his 1988 hit Baby Blue is about her, he did mention that his song You'll Be There from 2005 reminds him of her. "I'm a religious person," George shared with Shreveport Times in 2007. "I honestly believe we will see each other in heaven someday. I wanted to do the song badly." He continued, "The writer Corey Mayo held that song out because he knew I wanted to do it, and he waited until I had the chance. It was kind of him to do that." George established the nonprofit Jennifer Strait Memorial Foundation in 1987. As reported by 101.5 KNU Country Radio, the foundation relies on donations from the family's friends and fans. The money raised is then used to support children's charities in San Antonio. Let's talk about his son, George Strait Jr., known by his nickname Bubba, was born on May 14, 1981. Bubba, also known as George Strait Jr., began his rodeo journey while studying at Texas A&M University. He became a roper with the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, competing in various events, including the 2004 22nd Annual George Strait Team Roping Classic. However, his rodeo career took a turn when he suffered a serious injury. According to The New Yorker, Bubba nearly severed his index finger when it got caught in a wayward loop. Rodeo is a big deal in the Strait family. George Strait ran the Team Roping Classic for 35 years, finishing it in 2017. He once said in the Team Roping Journal that team roping was his passion. His proudest moment in the sport? Winning with his son. It's the greatest feeling in the world to watch my son win a roping, or even to just watch him compete. I'm sure I'm way more nervous than he is when I'm just watching, George said. Bubba and I have been fortunate to win a couple of buckles together, and that, my friends, is the ultimate. While staying out of the limelight, Bubba has ventured into the music scene. In his younger years, Bubba's voice was featured in Heartland, the opening song of George's 1992 movie Pure Country. As an adult, he's teamed up with his dad to write songs, such as Living for the Night and Out of Sight, Out of Mind, both featured in 2009's Twang. Bubba continued his collaboration with George on songwriting for his next 4 studio albums: 2011's Here for a Good Time, 2013's Love is Everything, 2015's Cold Beer Conversation, and 2019's Honky Tonk Time Machine. Bubba really got me back into writing. That's been a great experience for me, to be able to watch him grow and blossom as a songwriter, George shared. He's loving it. He plays guitar, and he's doing really well. It's been such a blessing to work with him at this stage of my career. In 2014, Bubba joined his father on stage in Arlington, Texas, for a special performance during the final stop of George's 2-year The Cowboy Rides Away tour. The duo sang Arkansas Dave, a song Bubba wrote himself. Following this memorable performance, George retired from touring. The event was captured on film for CMT's George Strait, The Cowboy Rides Away live concert special. The younger Strait has joined his dad at fancy events too. They walked the red carpet together at the 2007 Country Music Hall of Fame medallion ceremony and the 44th Annual Academy of Country Music Awards Artist of the Decade event in 2009, where George was honored. They also attended the 50th Annual ASCAP Country Music Awards in Nashville in 2012. Bubba doesn't use social media, but his wife, realtor Tamara Strait, often posts pictures of them on Instagram. They've been together since they met in 2005 at a San Antonio Spurs game, where Tamara was a silver dancer, according to a bio. Bubba and Tamara got engaged in 2010 and tied the knot later that December. They have 2 kids together, George Harvey Strait III, born in 2012, and Jillian Louise Strait, born in 2016. Marriage is the hardest job, right before parenting, I have ever had. It's not always easy, Tamara wrote on Instagram in 2023, but I am the luckiest girl to have a husband who loves me regardless of how crazy I am, who supports me in my job, and more importantly, grows in faith alongside of me. Harvey had a special moment with his grandfather at the 2019 Houston Rodeo show, where they sang George's song, God and Country Music, together on stage. Additionally, both of Bubba's kids, along with Tamara and Norma, were at Game 6 of the 2022 World Series. George even wore a Houston Astros hat and jersey as he made the play ball call, with Harvey standing by his side. My grandson played drums for a while and will probably go back to it at some point, but right now it's baseball for him, plus hunting and fishing, George shared with Cowboys and Indians in 2022. I've heard a little singing from time to time from my granddaughter. She sounded pretty good. It's way too early to predict something like that, but I'll encourage them in whatever it is they decide to do.